Hey everybody, how you doing? It's been a little while since we've done a slower rapid game, so we're going for a 15 plus 10, random opponent, any range up to 1626 apparently. We'll see what we get. So I've been doing a few chess shorts recently. Got mixed reviews in the comments. Some people said, "Oh, I don't like the shorts," but for me, I think that it really suits the shorts format. So if you're not familiar with what with what shorts are on YouTube, they're short videos under 60 seconds long. So I've got Marika 68, and I'm going to play my normal repertoire. This is a 5-11 game. We have a king's pawn, king's knight opening, and the Scotch. Okay. So I have two responses to this. The Freddy Krueger approach is with f5, but that is the engine really doesn't like it. Then basically whatever happens, you want to put a pawn on this square. So you push f5. If they push, you capture. If they take your knight, you take their knight, right? Or f5. If they take, you push. So we can try this. I mean, my previous idea was to go for the Steinitz variation, where you take the pawn, knight takes the pawn, then queen h4 is very interesting. Well, let's go for the Krueger. Got a slightly weaker opponent. Your computer would already put this as white plus 1.5. Okay, so I'm kind of happy here with getting to push the pawn. I like this because I'm in familiar territory. Now I'm going to push d5 at some point. I'm definitely going to play knight to f6 to prevent the queen check. And this is a very nice kind of position. Okay. Now the queen check is on. So there are a couple of ideas here. One is knight f6. If this bishop comes out, we have d5, that's fine. Another idea in some of these openings is queen f6. Queen f6 puts double eyes on the d4 pawn. I'm going to play knight f6, I think. I don't see any problem with that. So yeah, still been playing a lot of 5-minute blitz. Really been enjoying myself as well. I've got up to about 1540, which is not bad. And that is... Why? What? Marika? Is Marika a girl? I don't know. Why that move? I mean, the knight wasn't under threat. That's really weird. Okay, so d5 looks really natural here. I shore up my center. I prepare to capture this pawn. It takes this square away from the king's bishop. What's not to like? Let's get our pawn back and look at this. Look at our control over the center of the board now. That is a real baffler. That's a right head scratcher, that one. Ugh. Big breakfast of bacon and liver and 2 free-range eggs is on its way down. Okay, again, I don't know. I mean, yes, I get you're trying to hang on to the pawn. But this is a huge concession from white. So, strategically, in terms of the story of the game, what it means is we know that king ain't going that way. That king ain't castling short. If anywhere, that king is going to want to go long. And then you're going to have the question, well, this bishop needs to come out. The knight and the queen all need to get off the back rank in order for the king to castle. My light squared bishop is also hampered to some degree. I mean, something like this. I mean, if she were to push c2, c3, that would not be great. Not entirely compatible with the idea of long castles. But she's got many other options as well. She's got knight c3, she's got bishop d2, she's got knight d2. Then she could think about a fianchetto and all kinds of fun and games. Am I worried about this pawn coming up? Not massively, as long as I make sure I've got a safe square for my knight to go to. So I need to be deciding as well which side I want to castle on. I mean, even just something like this, and like quiet move? I don't know. See, if I come here and bishop goes there, what am I going to do? I'll probably leave it there. I mean, it's defended by a knight. So I'm going to play that move. If c3, I'm quite happy. I might even just step back, come back here. Eyes on this pawn, you know. Because it's defended only by the queen, that pawn. That's fine. She's playing really quick as well. She's still over 15 minutes after 8 moves. So she's taking less than 10 seconds per move. Having said that, I'm taking longer because I'm talking to you. Notice the pawn's now defended twice, pawn and queen. However, the pawn is also pinned. So it can... So it can't... It isn't actually the second capturer. So if I was to put another attacker on this pawn on d4, I could maybe take. So can I get a knight? No. Everything's too slow. Alright, now let's look at our opponent's move. There's an idea. Bishop could have come out there. Are you thinking of short castles? Oh, I don't know about this. How about a6, my bishop? Is that really weird? I mean, we have one blocked off file right now here. So if I was to fianchetto my bishop on b7, it's not looking all that cheerful. So I'm going to stick my bishop here for now. His pawn's defended once. The queen's defense was not material there. Might play queen e7 or white long castle. Then just try and break through. I'm intrigued though. Intrigued where white thinks she's going to put her king. Okay. My instinct is to kick. If takes, I have queen takes. That just brings me one step closer to long castles. You go back there. I might just still play queen e7 anyway. Have to check the knight can't be attacked by a pawn. Well, it can. It could be attacked by that. But if the bishop's here, it just blocks the bishop. I take the pawn. Bishop takes. Nothing happens. And that was not a really great use of white's time and resources. Got one attacker on here. I think just queen e7 castles. Nothing wrong with that. Time for a cup of tea. Ah, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Okay, that's not a move. Because I can castle now. King to c8 defends the pawn. Also bishop here is very solid. Because to be honest, that bishop's not doing a fat lot there. So I think I'm going to drop the bishop back and just keep my options up. I don't think I'm going to castle short anyway. So I'm actually 1601 in rapid as well. So I've been over 1600 a couple of times, and my highest ever rating I think is 1679. I just had a week where, a couple of days, I just couldn't lose. Really weird. Now she's got both knights on the rim, huh? And you can see with these pawn moves, where's that king going to find safety? It's either this square or this square, and neither looks really, really good. Should I just castle now? So what's the point of this move? Probably castles, actually. I think that's all she's doing. Because the knight is blocked there, and it's blocked there by her own pawn. I think that's all she's trying to do. I could think about pawn to a6 to take this square away from the knight. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Just to prevent any ideas. I think my opponent's really in a sweatbox right now. If takes. Woo. Right, now castles. What is going on? You're adding more defense to this pawn? What's the longest she's taken over a move? 32 seconds for one move. And again, another. See, move 15, she has not completed development. I just have. But she's still 2 moves off. So I'm wondering about maybe like c6 to reinvigorate this bishop, which that then necessitates moving this knight out of the way. Where's this knight going to go? Where does it belong? I love this thing that Simon Williams says on some of his videos. If you could pick up that knight and put it anywhere on the board, where would it be? Another very natural move is rook e8. A queen on here would be quite handy. It hits the knight. Knight has to retreat there. Pins his pawn. It's not bad. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? I hate white's position. What's the push here? How do we feel about that? Pushes, I come in. I'd lose a pawn that way, I think. The knight comes in, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes pawn. I can't take here because I haven't got another defender on that. How about like queen here, then move my knight, then c6 and bishop there? It's like those games, you know, I don't know, depends how old you are. You used to get these games with sliding tiles, and there's one hole, and you have to slide the tiles backwards and forwards to try and make a picture. All right. No worries, I'll just move back. Now here, there's the en passant option. Okay, now, if they push, I have this with check. b4 doesn't work, the knight can't block, the bishop might. But I could throw in the check now. Notice my knight is looking at this and the queen is now the only defender. If I do that, what they're going to do, block with the bishop, surely it's the only thing. Then if I take and queen takes, I mean, it's generally okay. Here, bishop blocks. I'd love to be able to take the pawn, but I can't take the pawn. If I take here, it's really just opening up my opponent's pieces for them, yeah? I do have 2 attackers on this pawn actually now. I could actually go straight in and take. Has white just hung a pawn? Do I take with the bishop and attack b2? And kind of attack this and kind of threaten there? Or do I take with the knight and attack the bishop? If I do this and they push, I don't really want to encourage white. So let's take with the knight, I think. See, all of that just comes down to my opponent's thinking one-dimensionally about maybe pushing up and shutting down on the c-file. But what they failed to realise was that every time you push a pawn, you undefend 1 or 2 squares. Well, 1 if it's an edge pawn, 2 squares anywhere else. So they've lost control over these 2 and therefore created an overwhelm. And it's a very, very important pawn, which has now died. All right. Okay, this is interesting. So if I take here, they take, I take with pawn, we've really opened up the c-file. My knight is under attack twice. Is c5 a stupid idea? I've got queen c5. They can't attack the knight with a pawn, that's important, because I would be effectively pinning my queen. But I can't, and if bishop takes, I've got queen takes. I can't move the knight to defend the bishop, not in this configuration, that's 4 jumps away. Looks close, but if you're a knight, it's a long way around. If I take here and I allow them to capture here, have I got another horrible threat? I've got to check too. I take there. If they take this, check. Yeah. You see, that just came because I was still looking for other things, new things. Right, they haven't even captured. And surely now it's just d4, isn't it? I think that was a mistake. But if they had captured, queen b4, check, wins the bishop. I mean, I could just take here, but I take, if they take, everything opens up. No need. Let's keep these pawns together. Oh, it's not defended. It's not defended by... Oh, bugger. This could win the pawn. My bishop's in the way. See. Oh, it is. Hang on, it was defended. Got the stupid bishop there. So I could have just pushed. And that would have been really... Oh, you muppet. Hunter, you're a muppet. If they block with the bishop, I can just capture on b2. I attack the knight, I attack the rook. The knight can't move to there and defend the rook. That just wins material. I don't think they can do that. There. I don't think you can defend both. From this queen fork, yeah? Oh. I'm not actually up in material at this point. Okay, my queen is not defended, so I think that was a decent move. Okay, so let's do a survey of the board. What's not defended? Well, that knight and that pawn. That's defended many times. That's defended once. That's defended. Okay, so just this stuff over here is not defended. I'm kind of inclined just to drop my queen down to here, I think. This doesn't work. If I take their I'm definitely in a better position, and I'm loving my centralized pawns. If I just move my queen there, he can take there. Queen takes, or even knight takes, actually. There takes, knight takes, attacks the bishop. It's not bad. Can't just take this. If I take, bishop takes, then I take that, knight takes, it's out in the open. This is the move I want to play. So I'm going to just trade queens, I think probably then just d4. It's just too strong. I should centralize my rook. I don't want to trade here. I don't want to open up any lines towards the king, I don't think. So I'm just pushing. Bishop here might just block the c-pawn as well, and hits the knight. The knight can't go there. Okay, rook he8 is a bit of a no-brainer there. It's a semi-open file, it's behind my advanced pawns, line it up with the king, crack on. Maybe I should get this bishop out of the way. And then just, who is it? Dave and Eddie? Come on, Dave and Eddie. So he's defending this pawn, that was the point of that move. Marika 68, does that mean you're a 68 baby? You're even older than I am. Go in there, hit the bishop. What's the idea of this knight move though before we, I don't know. Might come in there, but what? Do I want to move my bishop first? It takes a square away from the king. Move the bishop. I could just get them. Let's just go. Let's just go for it. Just bash our way through. Kick in the doors. I'm expecting pawn takes. Okay, this is a double check. King has to take, so otherwise I take the rook. I go there, king goes there. I push a pawn, that's a check from this bishop. Might also have this move. Can't be bad. I'm on 5.5 minutes as well, so I need to go and get a wriggle on. Okay, this now. Knight can't take, king is in check. Wins a rook. Skewer. Skewer is when the higher value piece is in front of a lower value piece, but you'd happily take either. And I think we're looking towards this game being brought to you by the letters G and G, to be honest. Now this, and the bishop's trapped. Jeez, woo! This hangs, that then hangs. Forgot to move my bishop, didn't I? Hell's teeth. Right, anyway, I'm a pawn up. Make it 2. I have a Okay, so let's take stock. 3 and 2 pawns. Opponent has the same number of pawns, but is actually down in exchange. Okay, she's got ideas about attacking this one. There's another hanging pawn. I think that's more important. I think while I'm up 2 pawns. So here attacks the bishop. Bishop can't take the pawn. Here attacks the bishop. Bishop can't go there. Here attacks the bishop. Bishop moves. I'm threatening a discovered check by moving my knight. Okay, I'm just seeing what the knight can do. Nothing terrible. My rooks are on opposite colours and therefore can't be forked. Can be fought by any people. Well, it can be fought by a queen. And theoretically a rook. It can't be forked by a bishop or a knight. Because bishops and knights can only attack squares of one colour. Bishops can only ever attack the square of their own colour. Knights can only ever attack the opposite colour to the one that they're on. There you go, bishop moves. Now the question is, can I move my knight with something horrible? Do I just want to do something like this or this first? Here, and then I like move my knight, and he can't go there, 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 or there because of the knight. He ends up coming here. Yeah, I don't know. This pawn is defended by knight. Defended. The only thing that's not defended is the knight on f4. I'd like to pile up on this pawn. So I'm in a good position now, but it's not one position. If I go here, he's either going to go in the corner, which ain't going to do. So I go here, he's going to come there anyway. Then I can go there and force off a trade of knights. I think that's a good thing. Because my bishop's looking at c2, yeah? And it's a fork on these two, so you've got to trade. And then I'm liking the fact that the king is right out in the open. And I've got 2 marauding rooks. So, my opponent has got her work cut out, and no mistake. Do I want my pawns on light squares or dark squares? Probably dark squares for now, I'm thinking, in order to cut off my opponent's options. Okay, shall we propose a trade of rooks? Because for a pair of rooks to come off now would not be good for white. Okay, suit yourself. I might want this pawn on a light square. So I might jam my bishop and pawn together. I don't think about h3. I can even pin the knight actually, but then I can't attack it. There's no pawns, and my bishop's of the wrong colour right now. This is a thought. It'll force that pawn forward. Come here, this pawn comes forward. Maybe if I push b6 first and then come after these. Okay. Now I need to play some moves and win a bit of time again, I think. But hang on, I could theoretically attack the knight with... I haven't got two rooks. Forget what I just said. Okay, opponent's got lots of time on the clock. This bishop needs to defend that pawn. It's kind of crucial. Okay, I'm going to do this. Here, maybe to defend the pawn. Now there it is being looked at by the knight. Okay, I can't go there. Can't go there either. Mustn't rush. Now the king can't go there or there, that's important. This is by no means a one game. I'm thinking maybe I should be activating my king now as well. In a blitz game I probably would. Stick to the light squares. Now I can feel my adrenaline kind of build. And it's important to resist that kind of tendency to want to rush and finish them off. Okay, what does this mean? It means that pawn's undefended. My rook's under attack, and I can't go there and I can't go there, which is what I'd like to do. I can go here. That also stops the king's advance. Just checking for knight forks, because I'm in a one diagonal. He could go there, for example. But then I come here. And it's like a double pin. Well, it's not a double pin, it's just a straight pin. He's going to lose material, she. That hits the knight can't move. The king must defend the knight, that means the king must go there or there. If the king goes here, I have that, so the king's got to go here. If I go here, king has to go there. And push that. I might even push this. See, if I push then to c6, bishop can't see any of these three pawns, and that one's right in his way. And how does he continue to defend the pawn? Because my rook's looking at it. So it means that bishop's going to be stuck there for the duration. I could even push. Bishop takes, I take. Getting a couple of pawns off the board. Just leaving everything open for my rook in the endgame. Just want to simplify. Quite like that, c6. So undefended stuff right now, these. I have a check, I have two checks. I'm going to play this move because I like it. I like it. Still on 4.5 minutes, we're doing all right. Situations like this, it's always good to have a move that you're pretty confident is not a mistake, you're ready to play in case of time trouble. So now this If bishop takes, I'll just get this pawn. If bishop goes away, I get this pawn. So you might as well take it. Then am I going to come here? Okay, there, no knight fork problems. Okay, bishop comes back. I'm going to do this. 4 minutes 50. This is quite good as well. Effectively pins this pawn and pins this knight. Pins the pawn because it can't move without undefending the bishop. Cheeky check. Can go back there. Let's come here. Bishop has to defend this pawn now. This is a move. I'm not worried about the knight because the knight's on a dark square. There we go. So how are you going to make this work? My opponent's got these squares all covered. So my king can't actually get through the middle there. And that one actually. So is a route like this even a thought? Okay, you've shut down some options there. Bishop and knight, mentioned this lots of times before. Look at all the knight's advanced squares. They are all covered by my bishop. Okay, right, activate king. Watching out for this knight. This is very safe. As we said before, it's 4 jumps or 3 jumps to attack. Basically, for a knight to move 1 square diagonally is 2 moves. And this is just 2 moves twice. It doesn't count for this, by the way, because that's just 1 jump. But this is very safe against the knight. Okay, let's come through. I think something like this. I don't know, just making stuff up as I go along. What we want to do is we want to promote a pawn. These are all blocked off, and now the king can't approach that pawn in a hurry. So through here, what am I actually threatening? I think probably pushing the pawn up. Something like this. We'll get this pawn on the dark square and this pawn to here. Takey, takey. You're just bashing my way through there, aren't I? Opponent, it appears, is running out of ideas. That was a poem. Attack knight with rook, king goes here. Don't appear to play any better by putting on a stupid Russian accent. After extensive testing. Knight's actually in a very good position in the middle of the board. It's controlling quite a lot of squares. I'd like to bully it away if I can. Now I'm on 5.5 minutes again. My time's going up. Opponent's just piddling around here. There. Takey, takey. Can't takey. This. Knight can't take. Okay. Knight can take now. So I'm going to come back to the 3 squares down, like that, to defend against the knight. Thinking king here and pushing the pawns up, that's my idea. Need to remember not to move too quickly. Oh, you do you? Okay. Safe enough. If I was to take, this pawn's almost a goner, isn't it? My rook's actually getting harmoned here. Can't do that, I'd like to. Okay, let's come back here. If he comes to there, can I push the pawn with check? He can't go there or there. Wanted to push the pawn anyway. So it's interesting how she's managed to get my rook almost trapped on the 5th rank. See, trading my rook for a bishop and a pawn, for example, should leave me in a stronger position, because it means I've then got a bishop and 3 pawns against a knight and 2. That ought to be good. I take, king takes, I take pawn. This pawn's going to fall. Is that a 1 position? That's the question. I take, king must take. I take this pawn. I'm going to take this pawn. The king will try and approach my bishop. My bishop's only actually got 2 squares. If the king can get to here, I don't know. I'm going to push pawns instead. Not clear on that. That's a thought. Need to get out of the way of the b pawn anyway. So rook here, b pawn up, b pawn up. He can't advance, it just gets taken with check. Rook here, or rook here. This is the difference in the mindset. Something about the mindset that you need to make sure you've got on before you start playing is... Okay, I'm just going to drop back. Yep. Am I determined to do whatever it takes to win this game? And if it means getting a 1 pawn advantage and grinding it out, will I do it? Okay, so there... Okay, I get this. Right, so I can come here now, right? If the knight takes, I push. Or just win the knight even. And then push. I am prepared to trade or sack the exchange and trade off my rook for a piece, probably the bishop, if it means a 1 position. Opponent now has 2 attackers on this pawn that's only defended once, but I have a discovered defense coming. And I think I have to pull the trigger on that. Yeah. And this bishop can do nothing about this pawn. So what's going to happen now is my rook's going to move. Maybe to here for now. It'll probably get... No, it can't get harassed by the king. King can't go there or there. Okay, so rook here. b5, b4. But then I can't recapture on there. Ah, that's a pain. Here. Okay, well, what about this now? I'm in a knight forkable position, but the knight would be 2 moves away from that. I'm attacking 2 pieces. I think then the bishop must go to this square. Must it not? And if it does that, what happens to this pawn? Okay, I can take the knight. If king recaptures, bishop falls, and I'm up a rook. And then I simply can. Okay, there you go. There you go. Happy days. I think we're looking good, guys. My bishop will probably come here, defend h7. Yeah, that was a mistake. That was allowing this rook fork. Yeah, he could have prevented losing a piece and would have lost a pawn. In the end, he actually lost the piece, yeah. Which was not clever. I can actually play rook here. And I don't think, oh, he's got to come there to defend. Well, let's force it anyway. The only way to defend the pawn is that move, or actually that move. And it has to be that move, otherwise, again, she loses that pawn. So this is, oops, and resigns. Woo! Well, well, well. How did we play? Did we play 1600? So, by the way, before anyone asks, you have to sign up for the beta thing. You just go to settings at your bottom left, all settings, beta is down at the bottom, click on it, sign up for the beta. 73-4 against 73-9. So probably not 1600, eh? Both 1500. Okay, that's fair enough. And the big blunder was... yeah, that was it. And we found the right move. Because it was even, but, you know, a game of patience. And sometimes that's what chess is. You're not always going to get most beautiful, brilliant things. How many blunders in there? 1 by white and none by me. That I will take, but 4 misses. 4 misses. This position. Best move. Okay. But anyway, it's nice to get down to an end game and grind it out. And, you know, these wars of attrition can be lots of fun. So, yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Nice to get back into a slower format as well. Lots of fun. Not the strongest performance, but it's chess, you know, and at the end of it, all that really matters is it 1-0 or 0-1 or half-half, and it was 1-0. So I'll take that all day long, and I'll take the points. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching. See you soon.